Hi, I'm Joanne. I am so very excited to be able to share a fresh approach to quitting smoking. Why am I excited? Because I've been in your shoes and I know how hard it was to quit. I've been trained and certified by Mayo Clinic as a tobacco treatment specialist, which means I'm qualified to share information and techniques designed to help you quit. I've also been able to accomplish some pretty incredible personal goals. I joined a running group and worked myself up to running a half marathon, something I never could have imagined myself doing as a smoker. As a former smoker, I'm here to tell you that quitting smoking is possible. Now I can't imagine smoking again, and that's what I want for you too. So let me start by saying, take a deep breath, relax. There's no finger pointing, no scary statistics, and most important, no judgments, especially from me. For the next 20 minutes or so, think of me as your personal quit coach. Together, we're going to begin building the foundation of a plan to prepare you for quitting. For a lot of people I talk to, this idea of preparing to quit is news to them. They think either you quit or you don't. Well, quitting isn't so black and white. Think of it like any activity. You need to have the right tools in place to help you be successful. Well, the same goes for quitting smoking. That's why, as part of this clinic, you can download tools designed to help you quit, your own set of plan to quit cards. I'll discuss how to use them in part 3. Okay, for now, I just want you to focus on one thing: how to get started quitting in a way that's right for you. Let's face it, if quitting smoking were easy, you probably wouldn't be here now. Well, it doesn't matter how many times you've tried quitting in the past. Put that behind you. Let's make this time different. But while we're on the subject of time, if you've ever wondered the number of times most people try to quit smoking in their lifetime, it's 6 to 9 times. That's a huge number. I know for me, I can't even begin to count the number of times I tried to quit. I refer to myself as a serial quitter. There were mornings when I woke up and I was determined not to smoke that day. I said, that's it, I'm not smoking. But by that evening, I was at the store buying my pack of cigarettes. But if I thought about it, the times I really gave it a good try, it was about 6 times that I tried quitting before I was successful, but I was able to do it. So don't worry how many times you tried to quit in the past. Let's focus on your next quit. As we begin thinking about your next quit, let's talk about something important: your reasons for quitting. Now, everyone has reasons for quitting, and no one can force you to do it. The truth is, you've got to quit for you and for the reasons that are most important to you. Here are a few examples. It may be hard to pinpoint one reason. Think about the reason that's most important to you. Why should you do this? Because thinking about your reason to quit is one of the ways to start preparing to quit smoking. I'm sure you know quitting is hard, but have you ever wondered why? In a word, nicotine. Nicotine is a drug found naturally occurring in tobacco. It is highly addictive, and over time, as a person smokes, they can become physically dependent on nicotine. It might even surprise you to hear that nicotine can be as addictive as heroin or cocaine for some. There are more than 1,000 chemicals in cigarettes, and even though most smokers know smoking is bad for their health, one of the main reasons many continue to smoke is this physical addiction. So, despite what many people might believe, smoking is not simply a habit that is easily broken. It's not just a lifestyle choice. And more importantly, for most people, quitting is not a matter of willpower alone. Tobacco dependence is, for many people, a chronic, relapsing medical condition that may benefit from treatment and support. Let's see what happens in the brain of a smoker when he or she takes a drag off a cigarette. When you smoke, nicotine from the cigarette goes into the brain in about 10 to 20 seconds. Nicotine attaches to nicotine receptors in the brain, and that sends a message to release a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine provides a feeling of pleasure, but it doesn't last long, so you crave another cigarette. So that explains why nicotine can have such a strong hold on a person. I know when I heard this information, a light bulb went off. It made me think that smoking for me was more than just a bad habit. So one reason quitting is difficult is the physical challenge of quitting, but quitting smoking can also be a behavioral challenge. To help you understand what I mean by behavioral challenge, I'll use myself as an example. I smoked for 30 years, about a pack a day. When you do the math, that adds up to over 219,000 cigarettes in my smoking life. When I first heard that number, I was shocked. And get this, at 10 puffs per cigarette, 20 cigarettes a day, that was 200 puffs per day. And when you bring cost into the picture, back when I smoked, cigarettes were about $4 a pack. So I spent over $43,000 on cigarettes. $43,000. It hurts me to think what I could have spent that money on, and it's still hard for me to wrap my head around those numbers, but it did help me realize how much of my everyday life was interwoven with smoking. I smoked with coffee, smoked when I talked on the phone, smoked after doing chores. I didn't realize it at the time, but I associated these everyday things with smoking. Now I know why. I got a dose of dopamine every time I took a drag. So over time, these everyday moments became ingrained behaviors. That's why, along with the physical challenge, quitting is also a behavioral challenge as well. In other words, it's a two-part challenge. But don't worry, I'm here to help you face that challenge. So as we move on to part 2, I want to help you get into your new quitting mindset. Okay. First, I want you to know that just because you haven't been able to quit in the past, it doesn't mean you have some kind of character flaw. A lot of people have tried many, many times to quit smoking, and for most people, smoking is an addiction to nicotine. I know it was for me. Second, I really don't want you to go it alone. I know it may be tempting to try quitting on your own, but unfortunately, as you will see shortly, that doesn't help set you up for success. And third, I want you to be prepared for quitting. That means having a plan before your quit date, on your quit date, and after your quit date. The good news is in part 3, we'll start getting those plans together using your plan to quit cards. Right now, let's keep going. I'm going to show you how to pack that 1-2 punch. Click play when you're ready.